A Disney classic makes a comeback. Eric Roberts throws it in for Rosanna Arquette, and the Star Trek crew meets some earthly aliens. All on Rated K. For kids, by kids.
Rebecca Schwager.
And I'm Lakmini Besbroda.
And I'm Matt Nespole. Welcome to the only movie review show just for kids. The first movie we're going to take a look at is...
Rebecca,
it's about you here.
Really?
My spot here
got to go.
for Star Trek 4. And I got a pair for you.
Oh, no.
Yes, yes, Rebecca.
No. Lakmini, help.
First review. In Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, the Earth is on the brink of destruction. It's the 23rd century, and an alien form of intelligence has traveled through the galaxy in search of its counterpart life form, the humpback whale. But humpback whales were killed off by man centuries earlier, and the alien probe is quickly destroying the Earth, looking for a life form that no longer exists. The only solution is to go back in time and bring two whales into the future. So Admiral Kirk, Mr. Spock, and the Star Trek crew come to the rescue and time warp back to San Francisco in 1986.
Mr. Spock, here we are. Thanks to your restored memory, a little bit of good luck, we're walking the streets of San Francisco looking for a couple of humpback whales. How do you propose to solve this minor problem?
Simple logic will suffice. I believe I shall begin by making use of this map. I have the distance and bearing which were provided by Commander Uhura. If we juxtapose our coordinates, we should be able to find our destination, which lies at 283.7 degrees.
I think we'll find what we're looking for at the Station Institute in Sausalito. A pair of humpback whales named George and Gracie.
How do you know this?
Simple logic.
But even logic won't help pay the bus fare.
What does it mean, exact change?
And then there are the earthly aliens to contend with.
Excuse me. Do you mind stopping that noise? That damn noise.
And I say screw you. And I hope you're blue too. We're all bloody worthless.
Finally, they meet someone who they think could be the missing link to getting the humpback whales. She's a marine biologist named Jillian. The only problem is, she thinks they're crazy.
You want to try it from the top?
Why don't you tell me when those whales are leaving?
Who are you?
Who do you think I am?
Don't tell me. You're from outer space.
No, I'm from Iowa. I only work in outer space.
Oh, well, I was close. I mean, I knew outer space was going to come into this sooner or later.
The truth?
Oh, I am all ears.
Okay. The truth. I am from what on your calendar would be the late 23rd century. I've come back in time to bring two humpback whales with me in an attempt to repopulate the species.
Well, why didn't you just say so? I mean, why all the coy disguises?
Well, I don't blame her. I mean, wouldn't you be a little bit freaked out if someone came up to you, told you they were from the 23rd century and that they came to Earth to bring two humpback whales with them? That's a little bit strange. I really don't blame her on that.
You know, I'm a Trekkie fan, right? I've seen all the television shows. I've seen all the movies. I wear the Spock ears in the street. I have underwear with Star Trek on it. I love this. This is the best. I even have the figures with me here. Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock hanging out with me while I'm doing this review. This is great. These guys hold conventions with 15,000 Trekkies. They come along, they have a good time, and Captain Kirk is there. But even Captain Kirk has some enemies.
I was at a convention once and somebody dashed up and threw a pie in my face. That was a gift from him. As a matter of fact, he dashed off, and 17 people jumped on him, and they were about to pummel him, and the crowd was surging forward, and I put up my hands in the best Star Trek fashion. Stand back, I said. And I wanted them to bring him up to the stage to find out why he had done that. But the police grabbed him and spirited him off before I could question him.
Stand back. I thought this movie was great, you know, because, like, I'm a Trekkie fan. I've seen them all before, and it was really great to see all the guys coming back together again, you know, having a lot of fun, which is really good about it, and that would have been enough for me. But no, this was much better. This was science fiction, but it wasn't science fiction. They actually spent more time in America in the 20th century than in space, and they're having a lot of fun there, making me laugh. I'm really hanging out and I'm having a lot of fun. Another good thing about this movie is it gets across this point about how stupid and dumb we all really are, and it doesn't bore you to death while it's doing it. So I think that the Star Trek fans are going to love this one.
Oh my gosh, Matt, I cannot believe you just wore those ears. But wait a second, believe it or not, this movie was funnier than Matt's ears. No, I mean, the situations that these guys were put in were hysterical. Here they were from the 23rd century, coming back to the 20th century, and they look upon America as if it was some primitive wasteland, and it was hysterical. I mean, I had a great time with it. I have to admit, this was my first Star Trek movie, and I still loved it. I could follow everything, and I had a lot of fun with it. The message was really important, I thought. It was just telling us about how if we keep on endangering these species of whales, pretty soon they're going to be extinct like they were in the movie in the 23rd century. Also, it was a movie about the future, and I love the future. There are no limits, no boundaries when you're talking about the future, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not even a Trekkie fan. You're going to love it.
I also love this movie. First of all, the audience around me was so enthusiastic that I couldn't help but get into the Star Trek spirit. I mean, I had the best time. The special effects were really well done. I felt like I was in space, zooming around in it. And the acting was great. I thought every single character added something to the whole movie, except I have to mention Jillian. She really got on my nerves. She was so fake. Scotty definitely should have beamed her up. And finally, I love this movie because I laughed so much. The funny situations that those characters got into. It was like Peggy Sue Got Married, but even funnier. I laughed and laughed. I recommend this movie for everyone, Trekkies or not.
This movie was so close to a K for me. It just did that little, like, you know, and it just didn't have that so I gotta give it an F for fantastic.
And I'm gonna give it an A for amazing.
I like this movie even more than Lakmini did, even more than Matt did. I'm giving it a K, the ultimate rating, because I think it had that that Matt was talking about.
Wait, I have one final question.
Yeah?
Okay. Will there ever be too many Star Trek sequels?
No way. No, I can answer that one right away.
If they keep on making them like this, no.
That was such a good movie.
That's what I
could see a lot of them. Okay, now it's time for Matt's favorite line. Go for it.
Admiral, due to the pollution content in the atmosphere, I believe we have arrived in the late 20th century.
Good choice, Matt.
Good line,
Good
Matt.
job. To join the official Star Trek fan club, write the official Star Trek fan club. P.O. Box 111000, Aurora, Colorado 80011. That's a lot of O's.
Okay, Matt, we're done with Star Trek. Just take some ears and get rid of those dolls.
Never let me have any fun.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at the re-release of Walt Disney's classic, The Song of the South. This movie first came out 40 years ago and has all the fun of those Disney classics.
How do you do? Fine, how are you? How you come on? Pretty good, sure as you're born. Stop jumping.
It's about this old slave named Uncle Remus who's always telling stories about Brer Rabbit, who's very mischievous and very cocky.
I do what I like and I suits me. I don't know where you gonna fetch up at. I surely don't.
Anyway, Brer Rabbit is constantly being hunted by Brer Fox and Brer Bear, who love the idea of rabbit stew for dinner. But because he's so smart, one way or another, he always manages to give them the slip.
Now look here, my man, it's gone far enough. I ain't
But
going
I
one more step.
wanna-
No, not one more step.
but I-
No, you know this is one of his tricks. But you nothing. That rabbit just making a fool out of you, you fool.
Yes?
Of course he is. There ain't no such thing as a laughing place. Of course not. Come on now, let's get home. We want some. Wait a minute. That is. That is the laughing place.
Oh, where?
Right through there. That rabbit's just trying to
Me first. Me first.
ain't nothing in here except beans.
Now, Uncle Remus lives on a plantation and becomes best friends with 7-year-old Johnny. Johnny and his mother, who's one of those very prim and proper Southern ladies, are spending the summer on the plantation. Johnny doesn't know anyone, and Uncle Remus spends hours and hours entertaining him with stories of Brer Rabbit.
The truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactory.
Come on, Max, you know.
Yeah, come on, Max.
I have the soundtrack.
Yay.
You didn't even see it. I saw this movie, and I thought this movie was great. I like this movie a lot because there's no these old-fashioned kind of things that we don't see anymore. You know, you always got the girl with the guy around the porch and all the yuppie outfits. None of that's here. It's nice, old-fashioned, good stuff. I also like the Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox stories. You know, they're a lot of fun to watch. You're gonna enjoy them. They're really cute. You're gonna fall in love with this guy, Uncle Remus. This guy is great. This is the kind of guy you want, like, by your bed when you're sleeping, tell you a good night story or something. You know, hold your hand. But then there's Johnny and like these all little kids. They were a little bit too cute. So I think this movie's the best. You can have a lot of fun with this movie. You go with like your little brother, your little cousin, 5, 6 years old. Have him sit next to you, you know. And when you're not looking, give him a little noogie, throw a little popcorn in his face. You know, you're gonna have a lot of fun at this one.
You guys, your mom is gonna love this movie. You're gonna hate it. I mean, it's so boring. That same thing that Matt says is so cute. It just gets on my nerves. It's so old-fashioned. I think there's so many better Walt Disney movies. Go see 101 Dalmatians or something, but this one is just too old, too boring. The plot didn't even move. The characters drove me crazy, and so did the music. Don't see this movie. All in all, I'd say it has too much zippity-doo-dah and not enough zing.
Well, that's really weird, you know, because like the old-fashioned stuff that I really liked, you thought it really turned the movie down.
But it was really boring.
Well, I like that because, I mean, I haven't seen that in such a long time.
I wanted to get up and go get some popcorn in the middle of it for about an hour.
I like this movie a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun. The stories, you didn't like the stories about Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox?
First, but it was just too long.
I don't know. I gotta disagree with Rebecca on this one. That's why I'm gonna rate this movie F for fun.
I'm going to give this movie a B for bland.
All right. But I have one final question. Which character should Scotty beam up?
Oh, the mother, definitely.
The mother, yeah,
so
no question about it. She was a witch.
She was so prim and proper. Didn't it get on your nerves?
A little bit. She was the only one.
Yeah, she really...
Speaking of beaming up, Rebecca, I still got these spots here that I want you to
don't
try on
stop
here.
again.
No, when we come back, we'll take a look at Rosanna Arquette and Eric Roberts' new movie, Nobody's Fool. Got a question about a movie star or anything else? Right, Rated K, For Kids, By Kids, P.O. Box 909, Radio City Station, New York, New York, 10101.
Come on, Rebecca, put the ears on.
Don't start again.
Come on, what would Fox say, Rebecca?
Rated K, For Kids, By Kids will return in a moment. You're watching Nickelodeon. We now return to Rated K, For Kids, By Kids.
Rated K, For Kids, By Kids. The next movie we're going to take a look at is Nobody's Fool.
Nobody's Fool takes place in a small town where everybody knows everyone else's business. And Rosanna Arquette plays this southern girl who's done some pretty nasty things that's given her a bad reputation. So here's this girl, she's stuck in this town all by herself, and she's lonely and depressed.
Okay. You've been through some trouble, yes? You've made a mistake or two that you have come to regret. So who hasn't, right? Now, what you need to do, in my opinion, is you need to make a list of all of your best assets. Okay?
Okay. I'll try it.
All right, folks, let's call it a night. Thanks very much.
Adios, Brian.
See y'all tomorrow. Carter, you go straight home now.
Yeah, I will.
Hey, Cassie, I want you here on time from now on. Get yourself here 15 minutes early tomorrow if you expect a whole paycheck on Friday.
Oh, now, Mr. Fry, can't you be sweet?
No, I can't. With a reputation like that ingrate's got in this town, she's lucky to have any job at all.
Hey, you want to know what else you could do to help this mood you've been in?
What? Tell me.
Well, try that new orange marmalade nail polish that's just come in at the rec shop. Triple coat your fingernails and toes. And when you get to feeling low, all you gotta do is just glance down at your hands or your feet, and it'll give you a little lift. Right there on the spot.
Your nails and toes.
She decides she needs to start going out. So she goes to a performance given by a traveling theater company. That's where she meets this guy, Riley, and they keep bumping into each other all over town.
Well, I'm gonna go have some lunch.
I had lunch already.
Uh-huh.
Ate fish, lettuce, crackers. Very good.
Well, I wasn't gonna ask you to lunch, but, how about some dessert? I got a frozen key lime pie we could thaw out. It's good if you like key lime pie.
Well, I like key lime pie.
Yeah?
But I have to visit my cousin. She's over at the Skull Valley State Hospital. Kathy! My mother's picking me up. I'm coming! Yeah, well, okay. Thank you
Sure.
for this notice.
Riley kind of falls for her, even though she's really strange. I mean, one minute she's avoiding him, and the next minute she's barging into his house.
I'll go around. Go around.
What?
God, you're so quick. Come in. Come in. I just made some coffee. It's hot.
I didn't come here for coffee.
Okay. I'll get you a towel.
Just another flash wound, another thorn in your side. Just another flash wound, another...
Here.
I came here because I have something to tell you.
Uh-huh. What?
I'm through with all involvement. See?
Okay.
I have a blemished past. People say my personality is strange. I carry a whiskey bottle in my handbag, and I paint my fingernails layer after layer to try to help. You see, it doesn't help. I just can't.
Here's your towel.
Thank you. Oh, see?
What?
That's what I'm talking about. Stop looking at me with those eyes. Stop looking at me with those damn eyes.
But they see something very special in each other. And it's only when Riley has to leave town that he realizes how much he really cares.
Hey, look. Since you're probably not going to be making the trip with me tonight, I thought maybe you might want my address in L.A. Have you got any paper? Here. 849. Okay. Juniper Street, L.A. 90046. That's 46. Maybe you want to keep in touch, we'll exchange Christmas cards or something. Here.
Well, that's taking your shirt off from the back. I really like this movie a lot. I mean, the storyline was really, really funny. We don't see it that much these days. The characters were funny, especially Cassie's character, played by Rosanna Arquette. I like the relationship also between Rosanna Arquette, Cassie, and Riley, who's played by Eric Roberts. It just showed you how one incident can change your entire outlook on life, and that was pretty, pretty sad. I thought the message was, in this one, if you try hard enough and you believe in yourself, you'll pull through.
Well, I don't know about this one. I guess it just wasn't my type of movie, Like, I walked in here and I walked out, I just, really felt numb. When I was sitting there, I didn't care what was going on up there. So I was like, oh, wow, great stuff, So I think this is the only you only go to this movie when you're really desperate to get out of your house and when you're going nuts of boredom. But besides that, if you think the way I do about movies, I think you should stay away from this one.
I can't believe you feel that way. I mean, this character, Cassie, she went through so much. Look at her. Her parents, her father's dead. Her mother doesn't even care, didn't even leave the house when she went away. And, I mean, her brother, her fat brother, I mean, he didn't really care about her. A hoot, I mean...
It just wasn't, I don't know, I didn't really just...
But did you get into the character at least?
No,
I mean,
I didn't get into anything.
I felt pretty sad for her.
I didn't feel sad for anybody. I didn't care. I didn't care about this movie, so that's why I'm going to rate it a W for Who Cares.
Well, I'm going to give it an I for I did.
Okay, guys, I have one final question.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, okay. Did you guys like Rosanna Arquette's character?
Well, I did. I really thought that without her, they wouldn't have had a movie whatsoever.
Yeah, but this piece of garbage wasn't a movie anyway.
I disagree.
Anyway, you know what's coming out this month in the movie theaters? Well, there's A Boy Who Could Fly. It's about an autistic 14-year-old boy who spends all of his time on his roof because, well, I guess the title says it all for this one. Then there's King Kong Lives. Yes, the old gorilla is back at it again. And finally, there's The Mosquito Coast, which stars Harrison Ford as the obsessed man who moves his entire family into the jungle. River Phoenix is in this one also.
Another movie that's coming out is Brighton Beach Memoirs, which stars Jonathan Silverman. He's 20 years old, and this is his first movie.
I never wanted to be an actor. It really fell in my lap. I suppose it was about 2 years ago. I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I took drama as an elective, basically because photography was already closed. So I was stuck taking drama, and I finally got a big role in a play. I was Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and lo and behold, an agent came. He was in the audience, and he came up to me after the show and said he liked my performance and wanted me to sign up with his agency. And I said, why not? Baseball season's over. I'm free after school. And about a week later, he sent me on what was basically an open call for Brighton Beach Memoirs, the play. A few callbacks later, I got to meet Neil Simon himself, which was also a real experience. But apparently he saw that I was quite like Eugene, which Brighton Beach is a semi-autobiographical piece, so it really is Neil Simon as a boy. So he must have seen something in my eyes that reminded him of his childhood. And the next morning he sent me off to Broadway, and I opened after 6 days of rehearsal. The rest is history, and now I could call him Neil instead of Mr. Simon. Sometimes, on a good day. I'll say one thing, this whole acting stuff really has helped my social life. Happy, having fun, nothing serious though.
How's this job helped your social life?
Yes, Matt.
Well, the women, I mean, it's Spock all over.
With your ears, how can they resist his face?
You look so
Hey, guys,
good
let's
in
get
that.
on with the recap, okay?
All right. For Song of the South, Matt gave it an F for fun, and I gave it a B for bland.
Triple coat your fingernails and toes. And when you get to feeling low, all you gotta do is just glance down at your hands or your feet, and it'll give you a little lift.
As for Nobody's Fool, Matt gave it a W for Who Cares, and I gave it an I for I Did.
And for Star Trek 4, Lakmini gave it an A for amazing, I gave it an F for fantastic, and Rebecca gave it a K, the ultimate rating. And Rebecca, since you're not going to put these on, I'm going to have you put them on.
No!
Yeah. Bye. See you next week on Rated K.